All right. So goalie situation still kind of a mess a little bit, although Steve Mason picked up the slack last night. But I'll tell you what, I can last longer in bed than the 21 seconds it took for the Wild to score their first goal last night. Jesus Christ. But at least they won the game. Caleb Weiler, Brian Wright are both here. I'm Adrian Fedke. I'm still celebrating the Eagles' victory. I got my Wentz jersey on. Unfortunately, I don't own any Flyers gear, except this big fat head here.
Yeah, it was a good couple of games against the Maple Leafs. Definitely not a good game. The Wild, an excellent game, and it was a good weekend for Philly sports. Flyers win a game, Eagles win a game. Everybody's happy right now.
Yeah, tough game there against the Maple Leafs. They had to lead in the third period, and then the 4-goal explosion happened. Unfortunately, our goaltenders kind of made the Maple Leafs look like Stanley Cup contenders. Last night against the Minnesota Wild, spectacular effort there by Steve Mason coming in for the injured Neuvirth. But yeah, nice win by the Eagles. And believe it or not, the 76ers won a game. 76ers won a game before December, so there's something to celebrate.
Yeah, that's for a Sixers show, though. Congratulations. Their winning streak lasted all of one game.
Woo!
Yeah.
Yeah, but they can't handle the Hawks. It was a momentary thing there.
Anyway, this is the Flyer show. There's no Sixers fathead back here. All right, let's talk about this goalie situation. Now, Michael Neuvirth, lower body injury, By the way, I don't know why the hell NHL does that type of shit, but whatever. He had a groin injury. It looked like a groin injury. I was in the press box last night for Philly Influencer. I know that pisses Caleb off a lot, but but yeah, I was there live, and like once the injury happened, you can see that his right leg, stretched out a little bit too far. There was a chance in front by God, what's his fucking name? Michael Granlund. Does that sound right?
It might be right.
Okay.
Yes.
So there was a chance in front. His leg stretched out, and not only did he get up very, very gingerly, during even when there was a face-off one time, he was trying to get that thing going, but so it looked like a right groin injury. But hey, it worked out in the end because Steve Mason came on, made 19 to 20 saves, stopped 19 to 20 shots, and had that little kick save at the end that won the Flyers a game. And thank God it didn't go to overtime, because then I would have to, write my whole rap over again.
Yeah, as Jim Jackson said, it was kind of deja vu all over again. Michael Neuvirth had an amazing save at the end of last year's Wild game, and this year Steve Mason had a wonderful save at the end of the game, going cross crease to pad save that one shot, which was phenomenal. He played a great game. I mean, he came in, he was cold, and he had that, like you said, 19 out of 20 saves on those shots. And I was really, really pleased with his play, especially after letting in 6 goals on, I think, like 20 shots against the Maple Leafs, who are really not that good. So that was really frustrating. And just to enlighten you a little bit, even though you pissed me off saying you're in the press box, the reason that the NHL says lower body, upper body injuries, because hockey players are petty. And if they know what you injured, next game you come back in, they'll hit you there. So that's why they tell you upper body, lower body. But goalie situation, it's going to be really interesting going forward. The Flyers and Ron Hextall are going to have to make some interesting moves, deciding on who to bring up.
Yeah, you're right about the old upper body, lower body injury. I love that, because you could, if a guy gets a concussion and you can clearly see it's a concussion, yet it's still the upper body injury, so it doesn't do a whole lot. At least in that instance, it doesn't do a whole lot to dissuade the opposing players from going after the guy when he comes back. But yeah, heck of an effort there from Steve Mason. He's quite good at getting across and making those pad saves. But it's certainly going to be interesting to see what they do with the goaltending. I think the obvious choice is to bring up Anthony Stolarz, who should get his first start sometime soon here. So we'll see how he does.
Okay, I was going to bring that up shortly. So you jumped the bullet there. You jumped the gun.
Sorry.
No, it's all good. It's all good. Yeah. So, yeah, obviously now the Eagles. The Flyers are going to have to they're still in my mind. The Flyers are going to have to make a decision now. So do you bring up Anthony Stolarz? Do you bring up Stolie, the goalie? Or do you bring up Alex Lyons, because maybe you want to give Stolarz some work down the minors, because you don't want to maybe lose his confidence. We talked about this last week. Stolarz, you didn't want to bring him up because you don't want to lose his confidence and, if he struggles or whatever. But, yeah, what would you guys do?
So clearly Stolie, the goalie, has been the better of the two right now in the minors, playing for the Phantoms, sub 920 or above 920 save percentage, and his goals against average is hovering somewhere around 2 a game. And he's been playing really well, but I don't know if the Flyers are going to ride Mason, which they will, because I think he's going to play well. Normally when he knows he's the guy, he plays a lot better than when he knows that he's fighting for that job. So I think Mason plays really well. I think it's going to be a tough decision because if it were up to me, I'd call Lyons up so that Stolarz can continue to get starts down in the minors. And then when somebody needs to start, you flip them, you move Stolarz up, and you send Lyons back down so Stolarz can get the start up on the big team.
You know, I was going to say that you should bring Stolarz up, but you make a real good point there because you don't want him to sit on the bench cold and not play for a week to a week and a half. So yeah, I think the play would be to bring Lyon up and just have him sit as your required backup until you're ready to give Mason a break. Then you flip him and bring Stolarz up and give him the start. That way, when he makes the start, he's not cold.
Yeah, and worst case scenario, if they don't ice a suitable backup, Ron Hextall can come down from the press box and put the old pads on.
Yeah,
he might play better than Michael Neuvirth. You never know.
It could happen.
It could happen, just like JP
and
said.
He might score from the opposing goal.
Yeah, he's just the emergency backup goalie.
Oh man, so last night in this game, the Flyers came in. What was it? Allowing 3.73 goals a game. So obviously the goaltending has been subpar. Now I wonder. You made that point of Mason playing better when he knows he's the man. He must have known that groin strain was pretty bad, huh?
Oh yeah, absolutely. He was like, I'm gonna at least churn out a above 950 save percentage this game, and he did. He only let 1 goal in, and it wasn't really his fault. It was a phenomenal move by Koivu. Doinked it right off the post, and easy pickings right there for the rebound.
You know what the best part of his effort last night was? After that last save, right at the end of the game, deja vu from the previous game in February when the Wild were last year. I think the best thing about that was the look on Eric Stahl's face after he realized he hadn't scored. Because he kind of gave one of those look up to the rafters like, Jesus Christ, what do I have to do to score here?
Well, I'll tell you what, man. Like, again, being up in the press box and pissing Caleb off.
I hate you.
You could see the wide open net, man. There was a wide open net there, and couldn't finish it. So it's crazy.
Yeah.
I always love watching when those type of calls happen. I always love watching those games on TV because Jim Jackson loses his mind.
Yeah, so my seats were better anyway. At home on the couch, it was better.
Well, I couldn't hear Jim Jackson's call, and I was right next to him, kind of.
I don't want to hear it.
Well, you want to hear a cool story? Actually, I never told you this. So when you enter, the media entrance, there's I don't know how to describe this. There's a wall with a basketball hoop on it. It's like a concrete wall. Mm-hmm. And Claude Drew and Wayne Simmons were both shooting baskets on it before the game. So yeah, I wanted to take a picture so bad, but I knew how unprofessional it was. So I didn't do it. But that was really fucking cool. And I didn't want to walk past them. I wanted to watch them. But yeah. That happened.
You want to take the picture, but you also don't want to cross over from media professional to fanboy.
No, exactly. Well, I'm not a fanboy. I know who they are, but I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you half. Well, let's see. Actually, I could probably only name you 2 or 3 Wild players. Now I know more because I covered the game.
Yeah, you were there.
I know who Nino Niederreiter is because, goddamn it, I had to fucking check his name 3 or 4 times to make sure I spelled it right.
And I'm pretty sure spell check doesn't fix that.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't.
Spell check gives you back. What the fuck are you trying to say?
Exactly.
You've been up in the press box twice now, and you've seen Giroux and Simmons and Bob Clark.
Yeah, Bob Clark. Yeah, I took a piss next to him.
And with all these cool stories, I'm going to be announcing my resignation as a host for the Bitter Birds. So that you can stop rubbing it in.
You shouldn't, because I'm going to try to get us in the press box next year. And
then I'll be back.
And I'm going to send. Okay, so now you want to take it back?
I'll take it. It depends.
Right.
We'll see what you can do for me.
See, I'm dangling the carrot now.
You need to update my creds, and then I'll think about it.
Yeah. All right. So, okay. Let's talk about the Maple Leafs game from the other night because Caleb was like this close to making a solo video because he was so pissed off, but then he didn't want to curse, so he didn't do it. But so now I'll let you vent and talk about that game from the other night. And by the way, I got to grab my charger because I'm at red. So
all right, there you go. So I'm a little settled down right now, but obviously that game just pissed me off. You know, they were leading going into the third period, and Steve Mason just lets in 4 goals. Like, you cannot do that against the Maple Leafs. I know they have Marner, they have Matthews, they have Nylander, they have all these young kids who are going to be studs in a couple of years, but they're not studs right now. I mean, they're great, but it was hugely frustrating because the Flyers played a pretty good first and second period, and Steve Mason, after that game, I was texting people, and I was like, okay, I normally don't advocate for trades on spite, but after that, I was like, just send Steve Mason anywhere, sign Brizgalov, just get him out of here. But after the game last night, he restored my faith a little bit. So we'll see what continues to happen. But that Maple Leafs game, if that happens again, my remote will be through the TV.
nice.
Hopefully that won't happen because I don't want you to have to buy a new TV. But
That's my
yeah,
parents.
the Maple Leafs have some good players, but like you said, they're rookies. You don't need to make rookies look like a Stanley Cup winning team. So the only thing I could say from that third period was, what the fuck, Mason? Get your shit together. And he did nicely yesterday.
Dude, so that's crazy. Like, they scored 4 goals in the third period, and then 21 seconds in,
Yeah.
like I'm sure you guys were just thrilled by that.
They had 3 goals on 5 shots in the Maple Leafs game. The first 5 shots of the third period, 3 goals. I was losing my mind. And then I was like, at the beginning of the Wild game, I was like, 21 seconds in, this is all over again. Flyers are going to lose another game. Neuvirth and Mason just can't get their act together. But luckily, Mason was able to turn it around. Neuvirth is going to be out for a while. Hopefully, Mason grabs the bull by the horns here and continues to play well for the next month and a half.
I went to make dinner for a second in the kitchen when I turned on that Wild game from last night. By the time I came back, they were down 1-0. If I had the Comcast network, I would have turned to the Sixers game. But luckily, I don't have that channel, so I stuck with the Flyers, and thankfully, they rewarded my faith.
Well, unfortunately, I didn't have the Comcast network either because never mind.
I hate you.
Oh man, I love this show. This is a great show today. I'll tell you, I'm fired up. I'm all fired up, baby. Yeah. All right, so dude, like that game last night, they just kept peppering Dubnyk with shots, shot after shot after shot after shot. And the Wild, they came in. You know, we just talked about 3.73 goals against average for the Flyers, last in the league. Wild had the best. You know, it's what was the number? 2.02.
2 goals,
like
yeah,
that.
2 goals against per game.
Yeah, and Dubnyk came in red hot. He only gave up 3 goals in his last 6 periods coming in. Or 21 periods. 21 periods. It's like 6 games or whatever it was. And he gave up 3 goals last night. So, you know, dude, some of that Simmons pass from behind the net, lightning.
Oh my gosh.
Oh. So yeah, I had to make sure keep the pants dry that time. That's why I wore black last night. And Braden Chat with the finish, and yeah, so they were playing well on offense.
Yeah, that was a phenomenal game. I mean, it was an all-around team effort there, especially once Mason came in. You know, Dubnyk, including last night's game, I think he let up 8 goals in 7 games, and like that is just disgusting. Like Steve Mason let up 6 goals in 1 game, so Devin Dubnyk was just on fire, and the Flyers just found a way. I think they had 40+ shots, and when you put that many shots on goal, some of them are bound to go in. It's not too many times in today's NHL where a goal is going to have 40+ saves in a shutout. So it's a good.
Unless you're Carey Price.
Yeah, but we don't talk about Carey Price just because he's too good. It's not even fair. I'm pretty sure he's like an alien, but
he might be.
He might be.
I think he's the first Canadian. I think he's the first goalie ever to win his first 10 starts.
Yeah. Yep. Ever. First goalie ever to win 10 games in a row. His first 10 starts.
Yeah.
Disgusting.
But Devin Dubnyk's a big dude. He's like 6'6", isn't he?
Yeah, that's where the NHL's going. You see big guys out there like Dubnyk and Bishop and Mason who are all above 6'2", 6'3", and that's where the NHL's going because they don't want them to be able to snipe over that top shoulder, and it's working out well so far.
But what's interesting is you've seen a lot of that first goal that the Wild scored, top shoulder there. That's where a lot of these goals are going now, almost replacing the 5-hole because these guys go down early.
Yeah, the players like to shoot where Mama hides the cookies now because it makes for good television. So
thank you, Rick. Thank you, Rick Jenneret.
Yeah, that's what I'm here for. Hockey cliches all day.
Oh, I thought you made that up. See, that's how.
No, Rick Jenneret. Rick Jenneret. That's Rick Jenneret's thing. He's the announcer for the Sabres. When they score a goal, he goes ballistic. His voice goes up.
Oh, that guy. Yeah.
That dude Bob used to imitate at TSN.
Yeah.
That was like his favorite announcer.
Yeah. By the way, speaking of announcers, I met the Capitals announcer one time when I was at the Soul game.
Mm-hmm.
I forget his name, but dude, that was so funny. Like, I had no idea who he was. Like, just
wait a minute. I think I know who. Wait.
Yeah.
Joe Beninati, right?
Yes, there you go. That's his name. Yeah, so I met him. Really, really nice
him.
guy.
He seems like he does a good job.
Yeah, he's a really nice guy. By the way, since I'm talking about the press box again, just available. You know what the best part about being in the press box is? Unlimited amount.
Media dinner.
Well, you got to pay $12 for the buffet, but
That's
the best. Brian, shut up! I'm trying to speak. The best part about being in the press box, unlimited amount of Reese's Pieces. Yes. Oh my God. So they got this big old jar, and you could just pour as much as you want. I was just gobbling it up. It was delicious. Thanksgiving came early for me.
Yeah, my hate level for you just went from 8 to like 11.
Nice. That's the point.
You just went over the threshold.
Nice.
You did it.
Nice.
With that Reese's Pieces comment, you did it.
Oh yes, I like it.
I only eat the orange ones.
You made him turn it up to 11. Now he's gonna have to watch Spinal Tap.
Oh man. All right, no more press box comments. No more. I'm not gonna say that I saw Keith Jones when he, walking past me or anything. Okay, so let's see. What else do we want to talk about? What else happened last night?
I'm surprised you know who Keith Jones is, honestly.
The only reason why I know him is because I was a contestant on the WIP morning show one time. They had this, and he was part of that at the time. This was back in 2010 when the Flyers were in the Stanley Cup. And as you can imagine, it was terrible because I'm in this competition and all we're talking about is the Flyers. And of course, hockey is not my strong suit.
Of course, but we're fixing that.
Yeah. And you guys brought up the fact that, aliens earlier. I think my fucking company are all aliens. The fact that they would send me in the press box of a Flyers game.
You're learning.
Yeah. Well, you're teaching me. Yeah, I had to ask you. I was like, all right, what was that move that Koivu did? Like, and you're like, toe drag. So I did filthy toe drag and make myself sound smart.
It's basically like I'm there for you. No big deal.
Yes. You're there in spirit.
I am.
Yeah. All right, let's see. I got nothing else. We talked about Stolar's Neuvirth. Yeah, so, we talked last week about trading a goalie. Well, that's not going to happen now.
No.
So, I can't. Oh, we should talk about Giroux. Because, again, seeing that live in the press box. Because you could see him immediately walk back to the locker room right after the play. And he didn't even leave his stick. He left his stick there out on the ice. So you saw him go right away, and you were just like, oh, fuck. But he came back. And he got a real, real awesome ovation. That was the loudest ovation of the night. That got a bigger ovation than anything else that happened last night. And that included a big save by Steve Mason. Stone Cold Steve Mason.
Yeah, Claude Giroux's the captain. You hate to see someone go down. You got to give a shout out to Jason Zucker. Even though he did hit him in the face with a stick, he did go up to him and apologize afterwards. So that was a classy move by him. But it's always tough to see your captain go down like that and have him go out because you don't know how long he's going to be out for. And he's been our best player this year. I mean, him and Borchek are tied for the team lead in points with 16. So it's been tough. And while I did have to watch it from home, you can see the impact that he has on the ice.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, like I said, we've debated, maybe in jest, debated Claude Giroux on the show, but you can't argue with the production, and the ovation shows you how important he is to the team on and off the ice. So it's good to see him take a hit there and come back strong.
Yeah. All right, let's get to final thoughts time. I guess I'll just start real quick. I'm trying to figure out who has the worst last name in the league to spell, because it might just be Niederreiter.
Oh, no. You know who it is? Bufflin.
Speaking of Dustin Bufflin.
That's a good one.
And speaking of that WIP show that I was talking about earlier, I felt like such an idiot when I asked Al Morganti, how do you pronounce this guy's last name? Because it reads Bifuglian.
Yeah,
right?
Bifuglian.
And that was always the running joke at the sports network, is I got out of hockey raps because I told Jim one time, Jim Gillis was our managing editor, and I told him one time, oh man, I know who that Bifuglian guy is. And I was just joking. Like I try to say stupid shit so he doesn't make me do hockey raps, and I got out of it. I didn't write anything again.
That's awesome.
Was I in the newsroom to witness that? I think I was, but I don't really remember.
Yeah, I don't know, but that was a great moment. And Jim looked at me like, nope, no more hockey for you. I was like, yes.
Yes, then he moved you on to those 5-paragraph NBA raps real quick.
Yeah. Actually, what happened is he made me do college football. And what happened, I think, like, the next Saturday when there was hockey games going on, I got like a 66-56 Big 12 game, which was just awful. Those aren't fun to write. But, yeah, that's my final thought. What about you guys?
For me, it's just, this time last year, had a goaltender gone down, it would have been a tough decision, tough thing to see because, they've been playing really well. But this year, they're not playing so well. So it's going to be good to see Mason take reins behind the net, or hopefully in front of the net, and not let any easy goals in. And hopefully we see Stolie the goalie at some point. Hopefully he continues his stellar play into the NHL.
Yeah, to piggyback on what you said there, having Neuvirth go down is never a good thing. But I think Mason definitely thrives when he knows he's the number one guy. But I'm actually excited to see Anthony Stolarz get his first start. So hopefully within the next 4 to 6 weeks, however long Neuvirth is out, I hope we see Stolarz in the net, because my hope is that he plays so well that solves your goalie controversy for the next few years, and that he can take the reins next season or maybe later this season. You want one of the, when you have a goalie controversy, you want it to be sorted out by somebody's play, not by the front office.
Okay. All right. So just to piss off Caleb,
plays well.
Just to piss Caleb off one more time, I'll be in the press box again on Saturday when the Flyers play the Tampa Bay Lightning. So I will be at that game, and when I'm at the game, the Flyers are undefeated. So the Flyers are now 2-0 when I go to a game. So.
That is the only good thing about you being in the press box, is that they have not lost a game yet. Other than that, I really hate you.
Dude, it was funny. There was a guy from the Sons of Penn yesterday. I believe his name is Tom Forey. Mm-hmm. And it's like this guy's trying to have a hockey conversation with me. I'm like, dude, I'm the wrong guy for that. Like, I'm a storyteller. I ain't a hockey expert. I have no idea what you're talking about, dude. He's like, Because, dude, I didn't even know that he was bringing up the save from last year. I completely forgot what the hell that was, So, and then I had to YouTube it. And I'm like, oh, okay. I put it in my rap. So, thanks, Tom.
Oh man.
Yeah, aliens at PI sending me to the games, but
you disgust me.
That's what I'm here for. I'm here for. Caleb Weiler, Brian Wright, I'm Adrian Fedque. Once again, I will be in the press box on Saturday.